My name's DeAnna Davis, and today I'm going to show you guys how you can make your very own Bobby mask from We Happy Few. We're going to start here by building up our base mask, which basically means we're taking little chunks of SCULPT to help build up those exaggerated features of the bobbies. It will absolutely look a little janky here in the initial stages, but just trust me, it'll look better by the end. You want to focus on building up the brow bones, the nose, and especially the chin before going in and adding that crazy smile that you see here. The best tip that I can give you for this stage is go ahead and press down the edges of your clay onto the base mask. It will help prevent the clay from sliding around and adhere just a little better to your base mask. And also, if you're having any issues with your base mask sliding all over the table, just go ahead and tape that sucker down. This whole process of building up the facial features should only take about 1 bar of sculpt, and like only 1 mental breakdown. As you progress, keep checking the profile of the mask to see if you've built up the features enough that they protrude proportionately. Once you got the gist of the shape you're looking for, just go ahead and take some extra SCULPT to fill in any empty holes you see. Next up, we're going to smooth that sculpt. We're going to take one of our sculpting tools here and a little bit of Vaseline, and we are going to go to town on this sculpture. You want to kind of use a painting motion here to help smooth those layers together, and let me just say that the Vaseline will make this vastly easier. It'll be as easy to smooth as butter. And for some of that fine tuning and hard to reach places under the eyes, I highly suggest you use your hands. Keep in mind while you're blending, it's not really about pushing the clay around so that you lose form. You want a fairly gentle hand, but you are just trying to blend together the ridges and some of the recesses that you've created while stacking the clay to build like the facial muscles, more or less. So you're kind of just giving them skin by smoothing out all the surfaces and smoothing them together. As you can see, with a little bit more of this blending and kind of smoothing out the mask as a whole, it does start looking a lot less ridiculous. Don't get discouraged if it takes you a while, because it does take a certain amount of finesse. Just take your time, try to be patient with yourself, and have a little fun with it. The sculpting and the smoothing is the bulk of this, so once you're past it, it's a pretty quick and easy project. Once you're done kind of smoothing the entire surface, you're going to want to go back in and kind of shape some of the forms that might have gotten pushed around on top of your base mask. Like for me here, it was brow bones. Alright, this next one's super easy. Just trim off any excess and you're good. And with that, your hard part's over. Good job! Okay, next up we're going to mold the thermoplastic over the sculpt using a heat gun. You can also use a hairdryer, and just about any kind of thermoplastic will do. All you gotta do is heat up your thermoplastic and press it to your now mold, your sculpture, your Bobby mask, that. And then you're just gonna clean up the edges. Once your mask has cooled, just go ahead and peel apart the 2 masks and scrape out the guts, the clay. Next up comes priming, and I'm using something called XTC, which is a self-leveling plastic, but you can also use coats of wood glue or gesso to prime your thermoplastic. Just make sure that you get a lot of good even coats on there so you have a nice smooth surface to paint on. Once you have your primers down, just go ahead and throw a plain base coat on. From here, it's all about shading and shadowing, so get those acrylics out. Personally, I like to start with midtones, going into shadows, bringing out highlights, and then doing the darkest tone possible. So a lot of this is going to be footage of the rinse and repeat method of trying to get that shadowed lighting just so. Keep in mind that the shading and shadowing is entirely personal preference. If you would like that porcelain white mask, you can just throw white paint over this entire thing and call it a good day. It's your mask, dude. Have fun with it. Here in the last stages, you're just gonna see me blending, and then last but not least, adding in those really iconic bobby teeth. Trim off any excess one more time. And there you go. Whether it's for Halloween or your next cosplay, we would love to see how your project turned out, so feel free to send us pictures of them here. Thanks for building with me, guys. Till next time, bye!